Greeting HMC friends on this Wednesday of Holy Week 2023. And we're almost coming to the end of Lent 2023 and about to engage in the Easter process. And so today I want to take us to a text from Matthew's Gospel, from chapter 25 and reading from verse 31. This teaching of Jesus that is attributed to have taken place between Palm Sunday and Good Friday as we know them today. When the Son of Man comes in his glory and all the angels with him, he will sit on his throne in heavenly glory. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate the people one from another, as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will put the sheep on his right and the goats on his left. The king will say to those on his right, "Come, you who are blessed by God, take your inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since the creation of the world." This is the word of God for the people of God, and thanks be to God. To those Jewish followers of Jesus' day, this would have spoken deeply into their belief that God was on their side, and any other nation that did not follow Judaism would be damned. The Gentiles would be separated. And we see that teaching clearly through the Old Testament. Maybe for us today, it would speak to us of the goodies and the baddies that we have learnt through fairy tales, the good one and the bad one, and that beautiful eternal truth, that truth always prevails and goodness always wins. Certainly many of our cowboy movies can tell us those tales of the good one and the bad one. But today, I'd like us to think of it a little deeper than that. Because I don't believe that there are people who are completely bad. And I know there are people who are not completely good. But the reality is that within us all, there is good and there is bad. There may be bigger proportions in some than others, but the reality that we all have to battle with some of that split within our own lives. And that Lent is a time for us to separate those things in our lives that in this situation would be called sheep or goats. Obviously the sheep being acceptable and the goats not. And so Lent has been part of this journey for us to maybe identify some of them. And certainly when we come to the great cost of the cross on Good Friday, some of those stand out for us. And so though Lent may be challenging, it helps us identify. However, for me, there's an even deeper journey, because it gives us the opportunity to let God's grace into each of those situations. And let's face it, goats are not bad. They may be different to sheep. They may have different qualities, but God knows. And so as we begin to wrap up Lent, let's not be afraid of the differences within us, but let's ask God to continue to shine that eternal grace. For that grace, says Jesus, is truth, and that will set us free. And so God bless and take care.